Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much for Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Well, I never blamed him because he ran and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was just before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. It seems I've had to fight my whole life through. Some gal'd giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen, roaming from town to town to hide my shame. So I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that give me that awful name. It was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry, and I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on the street of mud. There at a table, dealing studs, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. And I knew right away it was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood run cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." That's what I told him. And then I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and out in the street, kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I tell you, I've fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when, because he kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun and I pulled mine first, and he stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name, then I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong." He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me. You got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue." What could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him my pa and he called me his son. And I come away with a different point of view. And I think about it every now and then, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George. Anything but Sue. I still hate that name. Have you seen my bonnetteson merchandise? I have tons of goodies available, like t-shirts and coffee cups and stickers and pillows and a bunch of other stuff you need to check out. You know you need this. I'll leave the link for you in the description below.